I started with acupuncture pretty much against my will. I was experiencing big problems with cedar fever, and that went into sinus infection and all sorts of things. I had a friend who had done acupuncture, and she said to me, "You really need to try acupuncture." I was like, no, not me. I believe in chiropractic and other things like that, but acupuncture is a little out there for me. And so finally, it got so bad that she said, "That's the only thing I can offer you." And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to try anything to get better." So I went, and I went at lunchtime. I had been in this class at work, and I was coughing, and I was miserable, and I looked terrible and felt terrible. So I went for an acupuncture treatment at lunchtime, was my first one. And as I was lying there, I felt the drainage go away, and everything started clearing up, and I was totally blown away. If somebody had told me that was going to happen, I would not have believed it at all.
I came to acupuncture in 2000, the year 2000, to visit Dr. Wang. I came primarily because I was hit by a drunk driver. He threw me over the ravine right there by Austin High School. I went straight down and hit a tree. And the police said I was lucky. He said, if you hadn't hit that tree, the car would have gone straight into that wall against the school. Who knows what would have happened to you? I had excruciating pain in my neck, and it felt like somebody was pinching my neck. Like if you have someone pinching your arm real tight, that's the pain I had every day, 24 hours a day. I mean, it wouldn't go away. I slept sitting up for 2 years, and eventually I was directed to a surgeon who told me I needed back surgery. My pain was a 15 on a scale from 1 to 10. It was just incredibly excruciating. I was sent to Dr. Wang by a good friend of mine who had been to acupuncture and said, "I think this will work for you." She worked in the same office I did, and she saw me with a lot of pain. She actually walked into my office one day and asked, "What's wrong?" And I told her, I said, "I just can't move my neck." And she said, "Have you tried acupuncture?" And I said, "Well, actually, I'm going to have surgery tomorrow." And so she said, "No, I don't think you should do that." So she actually brought me to acupuncture. I came to see Dr. Wang the day before I was supposed to go in to have surgery, and I immediately felt, after the first 2 sessions, an incredible relief. It was amazing. Like I said, after the first 2 sessions, I could move my neck. I hadn't been able to move it at all. I would have to turn my whole body. Even when I drove, I had to turn my whole body to look sideways. The pain was relieved. On a scale from 1 to 10, it was a 4. It was like a 4. Then the 3rd session came down to a 1. And after the 6th session, I had no pain. I went to see my doctor, the surgeon, I guess a month later, after I had been through my sessions and all, and he looked at me. He said, "Well," he said, "you canceled your surgery." And I said, "Yes." He said, "How are you doing?" I said, "Well, look at me." He said, "What you doing?" I said, "I went to acupuncture." And he said, "Well," he said, "that's interesting." He said, "But you understand that you still have a crushed vertebrae. And anytime you're out there and you get hit by a car, it's going to paralyze you." And I said, "Well, you know what? I'll take my chances." It's been almost 15 years, and I'm still doing great.
She left the hospital in pain after $28,000. When she left here, she was pain free. And so I thought, okay, so that's good enough for me. So I showed up on September 13th, 2013. And from there, talked to Dr. Wang. I felt really, really relaxed and the trust, because the whole atmosphere, made me comfortable, and hospitality was great. And so by the 3rd treatment, I'm thinking, I can't explain this. Yeah, I can't explain this, but I'm pain-free. I am a living testimony. I am pain-free. And it's all because of the knowledge and the ability that Dr. Wang has. I didn't think that it would ever happen. I didn't know what it was like.
Not too long ago, I started having pain in my right hip with tingling down to my toes. And after a couple of treatments, well, that's all gone. The pain is gone from that. And I'm real thankful for that.
At work one day, one of the gals that I work with told me about the acupuncture with Dr. Wang. So I made an appointment to come see him. Came in, had a good consultation with him, told him everything that was going on with the asthma, especially because it had been about 5 years of battling asthma. My first session with him was awesome. I ended up walking out of the office feeling like $1 million. The asthma was gone, and I was able to breathe. So he was treating me for the asthma and for the allergies, the underlying, which were the allergies. So that was in the spring of 2009 when I started acupuncture, and I had a number of sessions with him in order to get the asthma under control, which it did. So I no longer have to use an inhaler. I continue to come to Dr. Wang for other issues as well. My thing is get over that fear, because the benefits that you get from the acupuncture far outweighs the fear. Also, in the Eastern medicine philosophy, it's always been you treat the cause. Western medicine, unfortunately, is so much you treat the symptoms, and it's a Band-Aid versus getting to the core of whatever the problem is and either eliminating it altogether or getting it under control where it doesn't affect your overall health.